Hello. Yeah, good morning. So I think the introduction was too much for me, but that's true. It's okay. So today I stand here to represent the regulator. Yeah, but I'm not coming to do compliance audit. I'm here to share something, and just to be open. I think from the introduction, you have heard a lot of many things that I've worked in the government. I've worked in computer forensics, so we worked with Oscar somewhere. I'll not say where. And I think we are still in the government, and we are doing great things there, so to speak. So today, I stand before you to share something on what we do in SASRA. For those regulated SACCOs that are here, you know that we do receive a lot of data from you, especially monthly, most of you monthly, some of you quarterly. And I'm sure at some point you have been wondering, what does SASRA do with that data? So I just want to share something small on what you do with data from day to day or from month to month. Like it's been said, I'm in the field of analytics, but mostly I'm in technology risk, and I'm doing the digital product. For those who have been applying for approval for those products, they've been coming to our desk, and I can see some of your faces here, those who have left in our offices. So allow me to take you through my presentation. But before I continue, I want to, as a reminder, and for SACCOs that you regulate, and maybe those people are not coming from the SACCO industry. So as SASRA, we have a mandate that is given by the law, and mainly our mandate falls into three categories. So the first one is to license SACCOs doing FOSA. So that's number one. So number two, we authorize SACCOs doing the BOSA SACCOs, but we only look at SACCOs that have 100 million and above in deposits. And lastly, C is the work that we do mostly, that is to regulate and supervise SACCOs. So for us to be able to achieve our work, we have a framework, a legal framework that we use. And these are the acts that define the work that we do. Of course, the Cooperatives Act, which is the mother act for the cooperatives in the country. We have the SACCO Societies Act. So besides the act, we also have the regulations. So the first one is for the deposit-taking SACCOs, which was the first one in 2010. Then in 2020, we have now the regulations for the non-deposit-taking. So that came in force in 2020. And I think the first licenses we issued in 2021. And we also have some guidance notes that we develop that define the work that we do. So that's just in a nutshell of what we do. Currently, we are supervising 176 SACCOs doing FOSA and 183 SACCOs that are doing the BOSA business. So the total is around 59 institutions. So that's quite a lot. That's quite a lot as compared to the workforce that we have. So today I want to share something about what we do with the data that we receive. Like you have seen, supervising 360 institutions, it may not be possible for us to be able to do a one-on-one with every institution, but we have something that guides us on who to talk to or who to put focus on. So in risk-based supervision framework, basically what we do is to build the risk profiles for each SACCO, and that is what guides us on what action that we need to do and which SACCOs to focus on. So the main thing within the process that we do is what we are calling the off-site monitoring, because that is what happens within the offices from basically on day-to-day basis. The main thing is to do the financial rating based on the standards given by the regulations. So most of you know the standards. especially if you are in IT and you are building those reports that you usually request every month, you have come across with the standards. And I think our work is basically now to use data and build a risk profile for each institution based on the data that you give us. Yeah, so you can see in the cycle there, the first thing we do is offsite monitoring. So when we receive the data monthly, there's some processes that we do, some analytics that we do. Then from there, we do the financial rating. And then now we start making decisions on what to do, which SACCOs to focus on, which SACCOs to go and do inspections. So the rest of the processes is about now the action that we take based on the rating that we receive from the analytics. As a reminder as well for most of the SACCOs that are here, so that is the data that we require. This is just some of them. There are around 12 there, but I just chose the one that mostly give us a lot of data. So the first one is capital adequacy, followed by liquidity statement, statement of financial position, which is the balance sheet. Of course, the profit and loss, loan aging, and lately we introduced the sectoral lending. So that is the data that we receive monthly from SACCOs and quarterly, especially with the BOSA SACCOs. We usually receive them quarterly. So we also receive data during the annual license renewal. This is basically the statistics, things to do with the branches you have, the products that you are, the approved products, number of staff, membership, and some partnerships that you may be having with third parties. So all that data we receive, and we usually analyze it and produce some reports. So this is a submission process. It starts at the SACCOs and the SACCO level. There are templates that we have shared with the SACCOs, and they're also available at our website. So our expectation is that from your IT system, you should be able to extract the reports, have them reviewed by the management. I'm not very sure whether that happens. Then we have an online submission system that we receive the data. Then the data is got into our database. Then from there we do the analytics and start making the decisions. And finally, for the statistics, we do share them through an annual report that we normally publish. Yeah, so these are the four key items that we look at when we are doing the risk profiling. So the first one is the capital adequacy, asset quality, which is now the loan aging. We look at earnings and also liquidity. So to do that, we normally look at individual SACCOs, and also we do a global for the whole sector. So this is in line with the process I was talking about for offsite analysis. So that's a sample risk ranking. So the first column there is the areas that we are focusing on, the four areas that I've showed, followed by the minimum as required by the regulations. Then from there you can see we have 5 rankings. So those are the risk profiles that we build for each SACCO, and they are based on how far the SACCO is scoring based on the minimum standards. So if your figure is too low, you are ranked low, meaning you have a high risk, and these are the SACCOs that we tend to focus on. So this is our Kenya. So if you see us, it means your profile is not looking good. So yeah, so that's what it means. So this is something that we do continuously, and it is what guides us on what to do within the year or from month to month. So that's just a sample of the reports that we usually look at. Okay, so I'm about to finish. So besides the risk profiling, we usually produce a report that we call the annual SACCOs supervision report, which is basically contains the statistics within the year for the whole sector. So these are just some of the statistics that we do. So I just shared two of them, which could be of interest, and under the major statistics that we usually share to the public. So the first one here is looking at total assets, total deposits, gross loans, and of course the loan allowance for loan loss. So that is the figure for these figures are based on the audited accounts for the year 2021. So you can see that's how the sector performed in the country, and we have both for the DT SACCOs and for the non-DT SACCOs. So yeah, but for the non-DT SACCOs, we didn't have figures for 2019 and 2020. We started regulating them in the year 2021. So on the right there, we have the final reports that I talked about, the sectoral lending. So we are trying to look at the money that you give to members. Where do they spend it on? So yeah, so it's just indicating the areas where the money that members obtain as loans, where they are mostly spent on. So you can see land and housing is usually the highest, and I think it's because the value for transactions in land and housing is usually high. So most of the lending goes there. But if I was to introduce the number of accounts or the number of loans for given by the SACCOs, you realize agriculture will always come as the biggest. So because even in SACCOs, more members are in the agricultural sector. So yes, so my presentation was short. I think I've spent my time well, but I can also take questions as long as are not related to your specific SACCO.
We can just take like one question. Just raise up your hand and then we'll bring the microphone to you. Any question? Any question going once? Going twice?
Don't fear the regulator, so you can ask.
All right, that is gone. I guess they want to ask. That question probably would be a sidebar that they would ask you maybe later on. Okay. All right, we've confirmed that there are no questions to the speaker. All right, so we are good to go. Okay. Fantastic. Help me appreciate Prester one more time with a round of applause.